So I didn't know I'd be back with a Moist Critical style video so soon, but this is definitely something that needs to be spoken about because it's actually affecting people now. But I do like to watch people who have a less of a following in the community. There's a couple of creators that I know of, smaller creators who, you know, supporters of my channel, because I've seen them before in the comments and stuff like that. And I remember at one point I was watching Ember Power TCG. He made a video just kind of on some early lists and stuff for decks. And that helped me with a new set because it was just before a set came out, and it helped me kind of get some ideas for making videos and stuff, right? With that, I do see some posts now and then pop up on my recommended, right? So I had one from Ember Power TCG pop up, and it was just kind of an update video about, it's like the TCG live problem. So I was like, okay, I'm curious about this, what's going on? And it actually turned out that he has the error 101, I think it's 10011, which is the error message that just makes you not able to play the game. Now, we know this has been around for a while, but he's been locked out here, as you can see here on the screen. He's been locked out for 4 weeks right now with that code, and he's still locked out. And then he released an update video where he briefly discussed kind of his take on that and what he's feeling about it.
So as you've probably guessed, if you're pretty familiar with the channel at this point, basically I have still got the same error code popping up whenever I try to log into TCG Live. I see 2 paths ahead of me right now. The first path is that basically TCG Live, the developers I should say, fix this error and they release some sort of universal patch to fix most of the bugs. There seems to be an awful lot of bugs with the Paradox Rift update. So hopefully, you know, they could release a patch within the next, you know, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, hopefully. And that's one path. And honestly, if they would to do that, then of course I would be fine with it because it would mean get to play the game again. And, you know, that's cool and want to do that. So yeah, that would be, I guess, best case scenario. Now, path 2 is that they release a patch for this issue when they release the update on January 26th. Now, there is workarounds around this. You know, like the pessimist in me was extremely nervous of the thought of, you know, having to make content without TCG Live until the end of January. But I did map out a bunch of videos that I could make, and as long as I was, you know, patient with releasing them, then it would probably be possible. But it is another issue of kind of like just morale with the game, because what happens if, you know, it's waiting until the end of January, so got all of the rest of November, all of December, and then basically all of January without playing TCG Live, without progressing in the game. That's kind of like a bit of an ask, to be honest, because yeah, I don't particularly like playing on TCG Live, but it's currently the only way I can play the game. I can't attend any local leagues near me. I can't play IRL with other people, so all I have is the online version. And it also poses another question for morale, which is, why should I invest time and a lot of effort into a game when there's potentially just going to be a new bug in a set that basically just locks you out the game?
So to kind of just round up that bit there, he talks about obviously having to make workarounds of content to try and adapt to the fact that he can't open the game. He mentions it affecting his morale, considering it's the only way he can actually play the Pokemon card game. And he also questions the point of investing this much time into something that is causing so much trouble for him. Primarily though, you could just tell that he cares. You know, he's been making videos for a good while, and I just think it kind of sucks, man. I think it sucks because of the fact that him and obviously a lot of other people as well, he can't make content. Like, imagine this, right? I'm sure there's some of you are watching this who are content creators in this space, right? Regardless of size. Imagine if you couldn't do that, right? Me, say for example, and bear this in mind as well, I don't know how the bug's caused. We don't know how the bug's caused. In fact, I got the error yesterday, because my Wi-Fi was a bit funny, right? So my Wi-Fi went a bit funny, and I just couldn't open up PTCGL, had the error 10011. It's clearly something to do with the process of your provider, your internet, retrieving data from the PTCGL server, something between that communication going wrong. That's my best guess, right? Because I had that error as soon as my internet kind of fixed itself. That error never popped up anymore. And it is exactly how he describes it in his post, right? It loads 10/41 before dropping the 10011 message. It's exactly what happened to me yesterday when it's opening the game. And I was a bit worried, but I was like, no, I have a feeling this is just my internet. So I wait for my internet to sort itself out, and then, yeah, it worked again. It's something Wi-Fi related or internet related, but it's definitely seeming to be on PTCGL's side. Otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be affecting so many people all the time. Why am I making this video and why am I bringing it up? Well, I just want to give more voice to it, right? Because I can't imagine me being locked out, or I'm sure anyone else, as I said, who's a content creator, being locked out and just not able to make videos. Like, don't get me wrong, Ember Power's not at the level where he's going to be making any money from anything like that. He's clearly doing it out of passion, as are loads of other smaller YouTubers in this space who are making content. Obviously with the dream of, being able to make money from it and being able to make a living out of it. In my example, or, you could throw any other content creator out there in this space, LDF, there's Dark Integral Gaming. I was going to say Little Dark Fury, but that's the LDF. The Stabilized, I don't know if he's still making content nowadays. But either way, there's people playing the game, making content. Tricky Jim, for example. What if Tricky Jim just got locked out of the game? 10011. Of course, he'd make tabletop content and he'd make it work. But it would just suck because even he's realized, as you can tell from his content, that the most of his views and interaction come from the PTCGL. Tabletop content's great. He said he loves playing it. He loves doing it more, but it's very clear if you just look at the numbers, PTCGL brings in the most. And I think he's aware of that too. At least that's just kind of my perspective on that. I could be wrong. But point of the fact is, right, Ember Power is one of the unlucky ones. It's helped me feel grateful for the fact that I can get onto the game. But isn't it a bit unnerving? At any point, right, something could just happen and you're just screwed. And not even from a content creator's perspective, from a player's perspective. And this is something that's interesting to note as well, is he questions investing his time into something that's causing so much trouble. He's questioning his passion, clearly, right? You don't do this much and put this much effort into a channel for something you're not passionate about. He's passionate about it and he's having to question it because of the fact that purely because of the incompetence of the developers, and more importantly, should I say, as a result of the lack of care for the individuals who decided that PTCGL was a good idea and they just needed to cut the budget from what they invested into the Pokemon TCG. It's not an upgrade, right? That's clear. We know now, right? We're beating a dead horse here. We know PTCGL is a budget cut game. It's as clear as day. It kind of sucks, right? That decision has affected people negatively. Isn't that interesting? And it's still affecting people negatively. Look, they have made, improvements. They are providing updates here and there. But their lack of priority for this era is kind of a big deal. Right? I don't know why there are people locked out of the game and who can't play it, and they're more worried about the new Toad Scroll being, affecting Pokestop. Yeah, from bringing cards from, I think the idea was the Pokestop actually interacts in the sense that it brings in a discard pile, then you recover it from the discard pile, meaning that the Toad Scroll, the new one, can't recover things from discard pile, but there's a bug allowing it to do that, right? They're more focused on that than allowing people to play the game. I don't know, maybe that was an easier bug to fix. But shouldn't you invest all of your resources into this problem? Because by God, anyone could be affected. Anyone. Unfortunately, Ember is the example here of the person who has been affected. And it just kind of sucks to see someone who is striving to do well, has been making content for a decent amount of time in this space now, is wanting to do well, just cares about the game, is having a good time making content, and is forced to work around it. All because of the fact that they just don't care enough. And that look, I know, beating a dead horse, right? I understand that. But I just hate to see someone contemplating their desire to make content out of something that wasn't avoidable. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's a one specific case, and you can go, most people are having fun and they're doing well with it and all that, me included, right? I'm able to access it. I'm able to make videos on it. It's not about that. I'm sorry. You can't just sit there and go, oh, well, some people are going to suffer, but it is what it is. That's the price of upgrading a game, or that's the price of releasing a new thing. No, that's the price of budget cutting. That's the consequence of budget cutting. But there's no two ways about it. At the end of the day, they've made a budget cut. They've under-anticipated what it actually takes to develop a card game properly. Or maybe they did anticipate that and just didn't give a damn. Who knows, right? But ultimately, something was done very wrong originally from the start. We know that, and its consequences are still lingering to this day, even with the improvements. I just hate to see these situations, right? Yeah, fine, give them their flowers. They have improved the game in many ways, right? They have. They've worked on things I can see. I don't care how nice the game looks. I don't like the fact that there's people out there wanting to do things with this game, wanting to play it, or wanting to make content in this game and being deterred and just giving up purely because of that problem. I'm sorry, if someone gives up playing the game because they don't like the visuals, that's one thing. If someone gives up the game because they can't get on it, that's not, that just sucks. You know what I'm saying? That just absolutely sucks. Clearly a lot of us care enough about the game where the visual problem isn't that big of a deal to us, right? It sucks, but we'll play it. You know what I'm saying? We'll play it. We like the game. Our love for the game overshadows that, right? That's just that. But the fact that someone cannot just get on the game, and there is a bunch of people as well involved with this, not just Ember here. As I said, I'm just using Ember as an example, and it just sucks, man. It just really sucks, and it just shouldn't be happening. That's the point. Why is the game developed that poorly that you can't even get on the things sometimes? It's just not good enough. It just, unfortunately, is not good enough. And it's harsh at the end of the day. Listen, this Donny is getting affected in a way that he shouldn't be. It's just that reality. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir. And look, I know that Twinleaf, all right? Twinleaf could be an outlet for him or anyone who can't play the game, right? Because Twinleaf is looking to kind of develop that manual and then automated simulator, but that's a long time, which I know Dan TDM has already clarified. And that could be an outlet for someone like an Ember Power, someone else who is in the community and plays PTCGL. But this just really sucks, man. Like, I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes. What would I do? What would I do? Go on Limitless? You know what I'm saying? Look, it's not about me. It's about this. And it just sucks. I'm making this video not to just have a moan and a whine, but just kind of, you know, at least I have some sort of a platform that can produce a voice that Ember doesn't have. So if I can put that forward with seeing this, then I hope that this just gives a bit more emphasis to this problem and stops it from being buried under the rug, along with all the other issues this game already has. I understand there's a massive backlog for them to catch up to when it comes to updates and stuff, but just the order of priority in their updates clearly is wrong if there's an error code preventing people from playing the game. That should be the number one. If it takes months to fix, fine, take months to fix it, right? Be transparent. Is it this hard to simply say, there's people who can't play the game right now, there's people who want to play the game right now, that is our priority, to make sure everyone who can play it can play it. If they should be able to play the game, they should be able to play the game. So we're going to make that our priority until that problem's fixed. Nothing else is being done. We're putting all our manpower to that. Until then, nothing's going to change. I'm sure, yeah, you get a few people moaning and whining. Yeah, you get a few people upset, right? A few of the selfish ones. I want this and I want the mini game done. I'm sure the majority of people are like, that's fair. You need to be able to play the game. It's look, this is a one individual case I'm putting out. But there's also the fact that wasn't the point of PTCG Live to bring it to more eyes, to bring it to more people, to expand it, to develop it, help it grow, which it has been, by the way. The community here is growing. I think the fastest rate it ever has before, but you just have this problem. It's hindering that development too. I don't know, man. I think this is horrible. It's just horrible, man, because I'm trying to put myself in his shoes and go, Jesus Christ. And then anyone else's shoes, just not being able to play the game. Yeah, I would give up too. I would just be like, all right, I can't make videos on it. That's that. So I have a lot of envy for Ember Power actually circumnavigating it and making content without actually playing the game. But my God, man, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's unfortunate. It's ridiculous. And I think at the end of the day, this message needs to be solved. And if there is anyone within the developers of PTCGL watching this, just please at least try and find a way to make this a bigger priority, because it's just not fair, man. It just sucks. First off, just pointing a thing out, I don't actually know Ember Power. Right, I don't know Ember Power personally. I've never spoken to Ember Power. As I said, he's supported my content before, and I've watched a couple of videos, but that's really it. So there is no like personal bias at play here. It's just seeing that really does suck. And it was just brought to my attention here. And it's unfortunate the fact that, you know, he's had to release a video questioning the future of his channel. They're questioning his clearly something he really likes and I'm assuming is a dream of his because of the developers of PTCG Live. But yeah, to wrap it up, I just wanted to raise a voice about it, say what I think. And yeah, that's it. Bye.